Your Majesty at your service. Welcome to Fair Queen Talks. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of my podcast. Are you ready for season 3? Are you ready for season 3? Are you ready for your hot goal summer? Are you ready to review your yearly goal and re-strategize? I am. I am ready to accept I had an amazing first quarter of this year. And after my podcast break, I wasn't as intense with my journaling. But I'm ready to jump back on the excellence train. I have missed doing this podcast. Going on a break was very much needed. The demand on parenting 2 toddlers is an adventure I'm experiencing every single day. It's a joy, but also requires a lot of my energy. Perhaps this is why I love getting involved in so many different things, so that my energy flows in different directions. So where do I begin? For those that don't know, it's my birthday today. I didn't plan anything in particular. It was one of those days that I've decided whatever happens, happens. I'm officially 29 years old and have been reminded today that it's the last year of my 20s. Ooh, I can't believe how fast time has gone, but I'm so determined to make things count before the big 3-0. The version of myself at 29 that I thought I'd be as a 14-year-old and the person I am very today was very, very different. My mum summed up the theme for my year. She said, organization is everything. So, organization is the word. As I have more and more things going on, I need to be organized with everything to be able to be in charge and in control of my commitments in my life. As I've been getting older and my commitments and my responsibilities are not just with myself, but my family need me, my employer, my friends, my community, and of course, my queendom. You can only be there for others when you live in a way that your needs are met. Note to self and to you, let's be organized and let's make the clock our best friend. It's been a very, very long break and I've got to be with my family, rest once in a while, and continue to grow this queendom. If you've been keeping up with me on Instagram, you know that I've been on 9 episodes of the show called Ethnically Speaking. I absolutely love the experience of being on the audition, taking part of the show, and really be part of a, not just a concept, but an actual show that actively seeks to represent perspectives of the melanated communities here in the UK. The time that I recorded the show, I felt that so many things were going on in the news and lots of things were hot topics. So feel free to watch how nervous I was throughout the first 6 episodes. I personally feel that my nerves sometimes stop me from saying what I really want. It's almost like the words I'm uttering with my lips are not matched with how great it sounded in my head. Even on this podcast, I sometimes stutter or stumble over my words, but you guys are so forgiving of me. I knew the audition process didn't guarantee me a spot, but deep down I was hopeful to make the final cut. But being with the other candidates on the show and when I was really honest with myself, I knew that the other ladies who are now the hosts of the show were the right ones. I'm a true believer that if something is for you, it is for you. But nevertheless, I learned so much from every single person on the show, including the producers. When speaking to one of my sisters, she reminded me that not everything in life is about winning. Sometimes taking part is all that we need to give us a head start to our destiny. How many people have we seen going on these, singing shows and become a bigger star than the winner of the show? I mean, each of us have our own journey to our excellence. But having said all this, as this whole auditioning process with Ethnically Speaking was going on, I got approached by a local radio station called FMB Radio. They told me they loved this podcast, so hey, who else is watching or listening? I'm here, available, contact me. And FMB Radio, they offered me to have a spot on the radio program. And let me tell you, I was like so surprised, like really, really surprised. Because many, 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 many moons ago, when I was a toddler, my dad and I used to pretend we had a radio show, and we would record it on an actual cassette and send it to our family in Angola so they could listen to it. And I would sing on it, tell them how my day at nursery was, just come up with all these crazy things. But this is such a beautiful memory I had with my dad growing up. So when I was calling him and saying, Dad, I'm an actual radio presenter now, it was like, wow, so unreal. Because never in a million years did I think I would actually be a radio presenter, let alone have my own talk show on the radio. So when it came to picking the name, I had to call it Tapping into Your Greatness. I called it this name because it was something that I always speak about here on the podcast. But what I want to do that's different from what I do here at the podcast is learn from others. As you know, this show is a one-woman show. I only speak, by myself to you guys, but I don't have another person here with me. So on the radio show, I get to learn from others and see how they tap into their greatness. I love connecting with other people and peel off their external layers and really dig into their souls to understand why they are the way they are and why they do what they do. My husband goes crazy when I pretend to psychoanalyze him, but I just love connecting with the inner part of a person. So, just for your information, Tapping into Your Greatness is on air every single Monday from 6 till 7 p.m. UK time. So if you're somewhere else in the world, we need to work out what that time is, but it's on FMB Radio. And because of our beautiful World Wide Web, all of you, wherever you are in the world, can listen to it as well. Also, the show will be recorded and be posted across the FMB Radio social media channels, so like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So you get a chance to see me actually talking to people through the video call. So this week, I had a chance to get my colleague, Shilpa Arya. She is an absolute phenomenal equality, diversity, inclusion veteran. She's been working in this field for over 30 years, so much experience and just a lot of wisdom in her. So she was a very, amazing first guest to have. She's a beautiful soul. And whenever I speak to her, she gives me a lot of food for thought, and she inspires me to do things that feed my soul and bring me a lot of peace. So, as you know, social justice is something very near and dear to my heart. So working in the equality, diversity, and inclusion field allows me to tap into this part of me in the work context. But sometimes there's this part of me that feels that I should and can do more. So Shilpa actually introduced me to a local organization that does a lot of work in my town, Nottingham, called Unity in a Community. Unity in a Community was founded following the murder of George Floyd and the resulting global outcry surrounding systemic and institutional racism that still exists in our society today, which deeply affects Black people's ability to survive and prosper in the global economy, participate in mainstream society, and positively engage on an equal playing field. Unity in the Community's goal is to provide a respected and credible voice to articulate the needs of every Black person, or BAME, which in the UK is Black, Asian, Minority Ethnic communities in the UK. They will drive development, create opportunities, and influence positive change by acting as an infrastructure body to provide accessible programs that facilitate long-term and sustainable progress for Black and BAME communities. They aim to build essential resources that benefit all areas of life, like education, employment, health, sport, economic development. They work on a local and national level to support community groups while engaging with major strategic partners to develop and deliver key objectives for priorities for Black and BAME communities. So this is something that I can completely stand by and support. And currently I'm supporting a vaccine hesitancy project, and this is something that is very prominent in the melanated community, so Black, Asian, and other minority ethnic groups here in the UK. So I wouldn't have really minded to be on a break a little while longer to sleep some more, but I really want to make this year count, and I think turning 29 has been really a wake-up call. So over the last seasons of Fairy Queen Talks, over 1,400 downloads have taken place. I started this podcast willing to do it for just one listener, but seeing these kind of numbers is absolutely rewarding. Not only is this number so high for me, the reach of this podcast has meant that it's listened to by people across each continent of the world. So thank you so much for just tuning in and coming back even when I'm not uploading anything. I hope you enjoy listening to this content as much as I enjoy making it. So season 3 is here, and I'm committing myself to take you on my journey of being self-aware, reflective, and motivated to achieve my goals, but also want you to do that for yourselves. This episode was more to debrief about the break and get you ready for next week, because from next week I'll be focused on a topic of my interest, but also very happy to take your thoughts. So feel free to email me on fairyqueendom@gmail.com or message me on Instagram at fairyqueentatiana. I have missed you so much, and I hope that the last 6 months have gotten you to at least one step closer to your goals. This is the perfect time of the year to refresh your goals and get ready to see your ideas turn into reality. And most importantly, when you're in the right mindset and are organized, you're able to say yes to opportunities that may come along the way, which open doors that you never saw before. So stay safe and keep smiling. Mwah. At the end of each episode, I address the Queendom. Don't wait for your birthday to make your days count. Say yes to new opportunities, and remember that participation is what counts. Get organized, and the clock can be your best friend. If you're passionate about something, use that passion to help your local community to be a better place. Every experience of your life prepares you for things that will happen to you in the future. Thank you so much for listening to Fairy Queen Talks. See you next time.